Okay, welcome back to the lesson. This lesson, booting up the login page. So here it is here. It's going to be complete with all the error handlers and stuff like this. It should bring an error up. So we got that down there, and if you don't put the password in, it's going to get this here. And then I'll try and log in. And once you log in successfully, it'll move you to the home page, like so. Another thing, come here, click this, and you go to the sign up page. If you also already have an account. So we'll get into the code now. Very long lesson. So just pause it where you need it, copy it down, and I'll go through it one by one. Just get rid of this prop types. We don't really need this here. Okay, so just making sure that doesn't bring errors. So importing a logo, I just import a logo in there, which is this hammer here, and then I've styled it. So you can do that. Import Axios, which accesses our backend. Import links so we can go to the login page and go to the home page when we log in. With styles, so import this, and then move down the bottom here. We go with styles, login. That gives us a color scheme to our page. Grid, displaying the grid properly. It's actually got three. You want to display flex, and then we've got a grid here, this grid in the middle, this grid in the side, just so we are centered out in the middle like so. That'll make more sense in a second when I scroll down here. So we just got this dummy grid here. The whole thing's in the grid, and then we've got dummy grids, and then this grid in the middle, which is this big one. So back to, where are we? Up here. Typography, it's just a way to style your text. Think of it as a text container with styling. Fonts, text field, pretty obvious. This all the MUI stuff. Button, circular progress. So if you see right there, that's what that is. It's from MUI. So you can just copy this from here. It's just like a loading thing, like on your iPhone when it loads. And then we've got all the style here. You can adjust it to your own liking, so copy this and then maybe change it for what you want to do. Okay, so down to here. State's going to have email, password, username, loading, errors. So loading, I'll explain that in a second, make more sense. Okay, then we've got handle change function. So I'll show you here, console.log. So this is email. So when we're changing the email, I'm sure that's not coming up. Let's go npm start again. So that's just email. So event.target.name is email. So that means we'll change the email in the state. So just pretend that's email. And then whatever we typed in is what I'll update the state with. So save that to value now. And every time we type in something, changes one letter, it updates the state. So back to here. So if we type in the password, it's going to update the password. Email, it's going to update the email. Okay, then we've got this long function here, handle submit. So that's when we click the button. Here it's going to call handle submit. And then right when we call it event.prevent default, if you didn't know, when you click a form button, it refreshes the page. So we want to stop that, so it doesn't refresh the page. That's what that is. Then this sets state loading to true, so that will set off the loading thing, and that will also disable the button. So it's just to, yeah, so click this, loading equals true, then loading, the function finishes loading equals false, so it turns off that circular progress thing. Okay, then we want user object here, email password username, active state post login, so come back to your login here, copy this, and then you want to go hyphen 3 comma user, which will add the user to it. So then once that's done, we set state to false, and we this.props.history.push to the home page. So the home, that would be push to sign up, but the home page is just the /. And then of course we're going to catch any errors. So it's going to set the state with the errors, and that's what you see here. Set state with the errors, and then we'll like show the error there like so. And it will also set loading to false. So that's it for that. And then we'll have the classes, because this.props, and then errors and loading. Remember, that's the same as going const errors equals this dot props dot errors. So it's just a different way to type it up above. I've said that multiple times, but you get the point. So the main grid, a false grid to give us the centering in the middle, add our image in there with the styling, class name class.image, then typography, as you know, is just the way to style the text, so we can just put in H3, H4, just to quickly style the text, and then we'll do some more styling here. So it's a login, and then we go form, non-validates, of submit, so when we click on submit, this.handle submit. Okay, then we got a text field here, so this is the same as below, so you can copy and then paste that here to get the same, then just change it accordingly to password. And the name, as I said before, event.target.name, that's where that comes from, is here. So ID email, name, email, type email, label email with a capital, because that's actually seen on the screen. There's our styling, helper text, that is what you see here when you haven't put anything in. So that's the helper text there, must not be empty. So the helper text, if there's an error, so this got errors.email, and that's shown in the helper text. And then other errors we show down below, but if it's related to the email, then we'll show on the helper text. And then error, errors.email equals true or false. Okay, and then value, this.state.email. So we're updating the state, and then we're showing the state also. And then on change, this.handle change, obvious full width, that's just a styling, and that just makes it take the full width of the grid, which is from here to here. Text field for password is all the same, and then got these errors here. So when we catch the errors here, we upload into the state here. So if that's got errors, we go errors.error. So errors has two types of errors, or I think it's 3. Errors.error, errors.general, I think it's errors.password as well. So this is saying errors.general. If there is errors.general and n, then show this with errors.general. But if there isn't any errors.general, won't show anything. And then that's the same with errors.error. Might make more sense here. That's an error. And then you can get one to say general. I can't remember how to do that. Yeah, and there's a general one there. So if you console log, you can get the ones that come back and you'll see what I mean. Okay, then we have the button. So it's all self-explanatory. This disabled. So if loading is equal to true, because we've just clicked loading, we don't want to double click it, sending the function twice. So we want to disable it. So if loading is equals true, that means disabled is true, meaning we can't click the button. And if disabled is false, we can click the button. If that makes sense here. These breaks are just for styling, just to give a space between here and here. And then we will show this circular progress thing, which is the little, this thing here. So if load is equal true, then we show that. If it's false, we do not show it. So that means if load is equal true, yeah, sorry. You get the point, I'm pretty sure. Then we end our form. Maybe that's a dummy grid to put our other grid in the middle. And then export default with styles login. So hopefully that's all good. I'll upload this to GitHub so you can copy and paste it, and then you can edit it to your own likings. And yeah, and I'll see you in the next lesson.